Welcome to NFL Playoff Review with Coach Coyote. All right, here's the coach right there in front of the marquee board and the information board. Now, we got the first game, Green Bay at San Francisco. So you got the Green Bay Packers at the San Francisco 49ers. Green Bay lost the game. It was Green Bay Packers 21, San Francisco 49ers 24. That one came down to the interception. Jordan Love threw an interception at the end of the game, and the interception, sealed the deal for San Francisco. I found it funny when the defender, I don't remember his name now, but ran around the field, and I'm like, just go down, you won the game. Go down, you won the game. Like, I don't know. He's get that one. That one is going to be like in the locker room. I'm just saying it for myself, coach. I'm not saying like what the coach is going to do, but for me, if I was a coach, it'd be like, that was great. That was a great interception, but we could. But what if they would have knocked the ball out? We would have been. Then you would be doing this all over again, trying to get an interception. So. And if they knocked the ball out, if Tampa Bay knocked a defender, now it became a defender, it was an offensive player, would have knocked the ball out, that would have been a different ball game, as they say. That would have been crazy. It would have been just one of those crazy moments. But we'll look at the stats, okay, now, because the score is close, and of course, game ended looked like it was very close. When you look at your stats, let's see, is anybody out there going to see Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers quarterback? He was 21 for 34, so 21 completions for 34 attempts, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. Okay, that's not bad this is a good defense. Brock Purdy, 23 for 39. 252 yards, 1 touchdown. I don't see it as a problem. That's 39 attempts, 23. That's fine. Just 21 for 34. See, you're looking at pretty close there. Close enough, as they say. Your Russian Aaron Jones, 18 carries, 108 yards. That would make a good. He'd take that. Christian McCaffrey, would you say would he take 17 yards, only 17 carries for 98 yards and you win the game, Christian? He'll take it. Oh, by the way, you get 2 touchdowns. I'll take it. He'll take it. Christian McCaffrey, he'll take that game too. But Aaron Jones, he lost the game. You can't tell him that. Okay, Romeo Doubs. For receiving, Romeo Doubs on Green Bay Packers. 4 receptions, 83 yards. I guess seems all right. I would be okay with it. Now, George Kittle. If you told George Kittle, on 4 receptions, you're going to get 81 yards, you're going to get 1 touchdown, and you're going to win the game. I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay. So, when you look at your scoring summary, too, then your first quarter, the field goal. Okay, then the second quarter was the touchdown, George Kittle's. Then a field goal from Green Bay. So, we're looking at the 7-6. Oh, yes. Sorry, they mentioned, I forgot. For the first quarter, Green Bay scored a field goal. Okay, and then in the third quarter, Green Bay came with a touchdown. Then San Francisco countered with the touchdown. And Green Bay said, touche, another touchdown. But in the fourth quarter, started with just only San Francisco scoring. Now, the Green Bay Packers were shut out of the fourth quarter. So, this game was very decisively strategized with the defense on San Francisco. The shutout, because they are a good defense. I said that at the beginning of the show. They're a good defense. So, they shut them out of the scoreboard on the fourth quarter. That is excellent. Okay, so then your team stats. And of course, you got the Green Bay total was 330 for yards and 356 for San Francisco. 194 passing. Here's the big difference. 2:45 San Francisco. And for whatever reason, my internet kicked out for a second. Okay, so back on it. It was team stats. Okay, news. No. Okay, so yeah, going back to that game, that was it was a close game. It could have. It was. That was a very exciting to watch game. Kind of. You're glad you could. It's one of those games you're happy to be a San Francisco 49er fan. You like the game because if you're neutral, but if you're a Green Bay Packer fan, you got your half fans saying, some fans saying, glad to be able to be in the playoffs, and the other half going, oh, we should have won. Yeah, it was close. It was a close game. It happens. Game's over. The tickets are being sold for next week's. It's look who's coming to town. It's Detroit coming to town. So, yeah, the tickets have already been printed out and sold. So this game is over. And yes, if you're a Green Bay Packer fan, some will say yes, it was good enough that they just be able to get this far. And some will be like, well, we could have won this game. Well, you can't have it both ways. You got to have it one way or the other. You either win or lose. There's no time for you lose game, win game. We have to move on. This is the way it goes. Now, go to the next game. Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, so Houston lost the game. Houston Texans 10, Baltimore Ravens 34 was the final score. And we'll just quickly go, just some quick stats here. Let's see, we'll go to some stats. Your passing yards, you start off with CJ Stroud, 19 for 33, 175 yards. Well, that seems pretty good. I'd take it. If I was before the game, I would have took it. Lamar Jackson, 16 for 22, 16 attempts, 22 complete. 16 completions, 22 attempts, 152 yards total, with 2 touchdowns. Well, what are you gonna do? That is a good stat. I take it, but your rushing yards. Well, your leader was 9 carries, only got 22 yards, which was Devin Singletary. So that one kind of hurt. Lamar Jackson was the top rusher, oddly enough. 11 carries for 100 yards. Quarterback getting a 100-yard game. That's nice. Alrighty. And your receiving, well, here's another one. Nico Collins. Only 5 receptions, 68 yards. A little bit more on him. Could have been, no, he did something. It was just, when you look at it, 68 yards. He was, the ball was spread out. I couldn't see if it was spread out more. What's weird is receiving yards. Zay Flowers, 4 receptions at 41 yards. I forgot. Maybe when I was watching the game, I think the ball. Maybe I wasn't paying attention as I used to because of the. Game was getting pretty blown. Like it was getting out of control for Houston to come back. So, I usually like watching blowouts like that. But it wasn't like. It wasn't like it's when I see a blowout in the, as I say, like, well, I meant like when the tire is blown up. No, that's when a team falls apart. Did the team? Yeah, you know what? Okay, was it like a blown tire? Yeah, I guess so. You could put that in. I'd say I'll put that analogy in where Houston blew a tire on one of their wheels. Yeah, I'd say so. One of the 4 wheels. You got your offense, defense, special teams, and and it would be the 4th one. I don't know. But anyways, so maybe it's a 3-wheel. Yeah, if it was a 3-wheel trike, offense, defense, special teams. Yeah, it was like one of the tires blew, and that was defense, tire boo. I'm not sure. So yeah, it wasn't a close game, but when it's like this kind of game in the preseason, I don't mind because I like to see like the third string quarterback, fourth string quarterback come in and see what they could do because it's only preseason. And, but in this case, it was again with the Houston like they're gonna. If you're a Houston fan, you're saying you're just glad that Houston's in there again, like a Green Bay. You're glad that they're there. They somehow made it through. They got through. They're in there. Uh, like doesn't you win your division? You're in there. But I didn't see it that way for Houston. I thought they were really legitimate chance of going farther. It just happens. Baltimore is a seasoned veteran team like that, where compared to a team being led by a good rookie quarterback, which I would have picked ahead of what's the number? Let's not sidebar, but I would when it gets to what happened in the Carolina Panthers, I would have took C.J. Stroud. That's for sure. That's the way it goes, though. We have to move on. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, I can give out the old cliches again when it's like a learning experience for Houston. Does Houston really want a learning experience? I don't think so. I think Houston wants to win. They wanted to win. Move on. But it was not meant to be for Houston fans. But they consider for me, I'm gonna give that old cliche too, where I consider it a successful season for the Houston Texans. I'm not saying better luck next time. That's not the point. I don't like that phrase anymore. It's just no. It's let's build on that. Let's build on what they did. Like that's what I would be saying, Coach. You know what I mean, Coach? Let's build on it. And I guess the coach, wouldn't you be saying that too? You know what I mean? Eh? Would you be? Did I point? No. No pointing. Sorry, presenting. So, Coach here, like that. So, I'd say for Coach, yeah, same way. Let's build on it. Let's not get into this mood of, like what I was saying earlier, when the better luck next time phrase is for just unnecessary taunting and it's like the unnecessary taunting, in my opinion. There's no point to it. There's no need for it. I'll just leave it at that. Just like build on what you did. No. Let's go to Baltimore here. Baltimore, 34 points. They're just waiting. Like they said, it was just they got Kansas City coming in. Okay. Now Baltimore. I can't think about what they did in this game compared to planning. I think Baltimore, they were like, as soon as there was 2 minutes left and the game was at hand, it was like, all right, enjoy it now. You gotta be somber when you win by 24 points like that, 34-10. I think you gotta be a congratulatory, but not overdo it like you would if you're San Francisco. Okay. Now, Green Bay is allowed to go and let's go crazy, like Prince. Let's go crazy. Green Bay's allowed to do that. San Francisco, a little bit, not too much. Like that's gonna show weakness. Like, ooh, you're that happy that you beat Green Bay. Like, you gotta move on to the next game. It's just, hey, we won. This is great. Green Bay, they could do, if it was like using that, they can go, as they say, let's party crazy. Like, let's have a good party. Let's just scream and holler at, and then move on and win the next game. But Baltimore, in that mood, the way I'm saying this too, is like, let's just move on to the next game. Let's forget about it. Let's be positive, to each other. Like, yeah, hey, fist bump to coach. He didn't fist bump me back. Sorry, coach. Sorry, I feel. Oh well. Okay, so coach, don't do that. so Baltimore, yeah, it's like, yeah, you move on to the next game. Baltimore is a season of Super Bowl or bust. They got to make it to the dance floor. They just got to make it to the dance floor. That's all there is to it for them. That's how they feel. They just got to go there, go make it to the dance floor, and that's good enough right now. But let's say, well, let's just say that if you're a Baltimore fan, you're cheering, and then it's like, okay, we beat Houston. Houston jitters, Houston had the jitters, and they lost it. That's been going on for a long time. Just, like, this is just a simple board. Like, I'm presenting. I'm allowed to point. Okay, you could point at inanimate objects, but when it comes to people, you present them. Okay, so pointing at the inanimate object, which is the HOU. Now, you see that HOU at Baltimore, starting at the season, I don't think anybody was going to see this. That's the thing. No one expected that. Green Bay, seeing that GBY, Green Bay at San Francisco, and this is like playoff. This is only 1, 2, you got 3 and 4. So four games, and 8 teams, and you're one of the 8, as they say, remaining to continue on to the tournament. So Green Bay, Houston, and TBY too. See Tampa Bay. TBY is also the same as Houston and Green Bay. It just happened to be that the Green Bay, Houston, and Tampa Bay are there. Now, so if you look at it, the 3 home teams over here, the San Francisco home team won, Baltimore the home team won, Detroit the home team won. When it's okay, so when you look at it, that's why you want to be number 1 in the conference. If you want to get number 1 in the conference, so you play a Green Bay in the second round. Now, like I said, look at the score. That was close. Okay, so in Baltimore too, you get another warm up against a team like Houston to move on to the next round, and then you're going to be playing Kansas City, of course. So it's going to be KSC, Kansas City. See, I do is I use the KS as Kansas and then City. See, the GB, Green Bay, and then Green Bay, G and the BY. And the TB is what they call them, Tampa Bay. Although the city is Tampa, the area is Tampa Bay. Okay, so in San Francisco, SF, San Francisco, CO. Okay, so I think these are the easiest ones to see on the board real quick and go with it. Okay, so now we go to that one over there, TBY at Detroit. It was a lot closer than it looks, the score. I mean, kind of, it was just, Tampa Bay, they came close. The one thing okay, Coach, okay, maybe because I'm from the 70s, man, I'm from the 70s when it comes to, can I use the pointer instead? Yes, I can. Does it come on the video? Not really. Okay. So, Tampa Bay, Detroit. You look at that, and I'm like, the one thing I totally disagreed on Todd Bowles' call was going for that 2 instead of just kicking the 1, and they would have been 24-31 instead of, so even if they were successful, Tampa Bay, they had to go for 2 to tie the game. I don't know. A tie is better than going for it. But in the end, it didn't matter. There was no, of course, there was no. Could you? Okay, this would have been one of those things that would have been so hard to explain. What if Tampa Bay lost by 2 points because they had to go for the two? Because you look at it, a touchdown would have been only 29. Single point would have been 30. Needed 2 points just to tie the game. I know. People could say, what if he was good on that? What if Todd Bowles did really well on that? Yes, he could have did better, sure, but I don't see the point. I just don't see the point. That was a gamble. I wouldn't have done it. I just wouldn't have done it. Now, if had he been successful, I kind of would have brought it up in the sense like, well, that was a wasted 2 point effort because they could have got they could have tied the game and then the single would have won the game. Like that would have been like insanity. That Detroit would have been power off. Oh yeah, Bluetooth. Okay, so Detroit would have been like, wow, the fans would have just been beside themselves, losing 1 point. But it wasn't meant to be. Let's look at the quick stats here. Quick stats here for that game was just, I gotta get it on the old tabby here. And we got Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Detroit Lions. Okay. Baker Mayfield for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, quarterback, passing yards, 26 attempts, 26 completions, 41 attempts. I don't know why I keep doing this stuff. He had a good game, though. Baker Mayfield had a good game. If you said to anybody said to Baker Mayfield, hey, would you can't tell the outcome, but would you want this? 26, 41, 349 yards. You got 3 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. He'd say, sure, but I'm just going to decrease those interceptions. But where do you know? And if you could tell, if you're someone that could tell someone in the future what's happening, how you can tell? Oh yeah, then he's playing. You can't do that because then he's playing too safe because he doesn't know which one was the interception. I'm just saying. Okay, so Jared Goff, 30 attempts for 30 completions for 43 attempts. 287 yards, 2 touchdowns. Biggest difference was no interceptions. That was the biggest. That was right there. That was the biggest difference. The interceptions. Okay, so you look. Okay, so now we look at the rushing and Rashad White. You gotta say it with 2 A's. Rashad White, 9 carries, 55 yards. Yeah, that's just not going to cut it. 55 yards. Okay, that wasn't some surprising. Okay. And then Jamar Gibbs, 9 carries, 74 yards. That's okay. That's decent. That's a decent 1 touchdown. And then the biggest is your receiving yards. Like Mike Evans. Look at that. Mike Evans, 148 receptions. 8 receptions for 147 with 1 touchdown. Look at that. You take away the 147 away from there was you're looking. No, he's less than half. But yeah, one receiver was less than half. I'd have to see the breakdown, but see more player stats. Okay, then Amon St. Brown on the other, 8 receptions, 77 yards, 1 touchdown. Okay, now let's see more player stats. Let's just see. Let's Baker rushing, receiving. Okay, let's look at the receiving. Evans, Kade Otten. That was Mike Evans. Chris Godwin, Rashad White, Trey Palmer, Chase Edmonds, David Moore, Devin Tompkins. Now, even if they got a yard, I think. Let's see. 147 yards. 65, 40, 36, 32, 11. We got 11. Okay, so it wasn't spread out as much as I thought. Now, let's look at the other one, which is that was Tampa Bay. It was the Detroit's, the Lions. Okay, let's go with the Lions. Okay, let's go with the Lions receiving. Okay, let's look at the numbers. 77, 65, 40, 35, 29, 27, 14. That was a more spread out. That was more spread out than the other one does. That's different team. They spread it out more. Sam Laporta, Jamar Gibbs, Jameson Williams, Brock Wright. So it looks like they spread it out more. Just by quick glancing over the stats, it looks like Detroit spread it out more. But the rushing, you look with David Montgomery, 74, 33, 6. It was just not there. There was nothing much rushing to, but it wasn't really much there on the Lions. But it was okay. They didn't need it. But the Buccaneers rushing, which they really needed to shine on that, like to really get going. Let's see, with three of their players, that was the thing. You got Rashad White, Chase Edmonds, and there's only two that were actually made yardage. It was just that was a mistake. 55 yards, 19, and Baker Mayfield, 2 carries for 15 yards, averaging 7.5. Now, you look at these ones, 9 carries, 55 yards, average 6.1, and that was Rashad White. Yeah, a little bit more. If they had a little bit more running game, I think it would have been a different outcome in this one. It was because it was a close game. Okay, so we'll go to our last game. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills on this list here was the only home team that lost. And by 3, of course, if you watched the game, you've seen wide right. Yes, that was not the kind of expression you want to hear if you're a Buffalo Bills fan. Wide right. Oh, that's a bad one. But, I don't know. I mean, I look. Well, I kind of like. I seen the game as just it happened. I mean, a kick away. You can't tell me if you're a Buffalo Bills fan. You even with the word wide right, it's okay. It's fine. It just I mean. I don't want to say like, oh, but they would have had time to come back. How do you know? How do you know? They could have. I'm gonna hit pause to get a little refreshment first. So we'll just go to the game summaries here because what are you gonna do? Patrick Mahomes, 17 attempts. No, I did it wrong again. 17 completions, 23 attempts, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then for Buffalo, 26 attempts. That's Josh Allen for the Buffalo Bills. 26 completions. I don't know how I missed. Okay, 26 completions, 39 attempts, 186 yards, 1 touchdown. And oddly enough, Josh Allen was the leader in rushing for the Bills. 12 carries, 72 yards with 2 touchdowns. And Isaiah Pacheco, that was 15 carries, 97 yards, 1 touchdown. Yeah, he came in. He came in, and that really hurt the Buffalo Bills defense. And then Travis Kelce for the receiving yards. Travis Kelce, Kansas City, was the leader. He had 5 receptions, 75 yards with 2 touchdowns. And the Bills is Dalton Kincaid, 5 receptions, 45 yards. When you look at, we got to see more player stats. We got to see the more player stats on that one. Okay, now, because when you look at the rushing, Isaiah Pacheco, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Patrick Holmes, and Michael Hardman Jr. must have had not too many attempts. Okay, so we're looking at 97 yards, 31-19. Pacheco, remember, Pacheco was 97, 31-19, and that was, not much after that. Okay, that was it for that. -1 yard. Okay, so, yeah, Isaiah Pacheco was running away with the game, as I say. And then on Buffalo side, I know it's going to be, James Cook. It's got to be James Cook. He was doing great. But, oh yeah, that's right. Yes. Josh Allen was the leader. It just happens that way. So Josh Allen was your leader in rushing, 1272. And I even said that earlier. I totally forgot. No. And James Cook, 18 carries, 61 yards. Not bad. I'd take it. It was very... And who's the other? Johnson was the next one? Ty Johnson, yet. 7 carries, 40 yards, and DeMar Hamlin. It counts. 1 carry, 2 yards. I was. That was weird. That was weird. That one blew. Like I say, it would have been a crazy story if it came through, but for whatever reason, it worked out for the Bills somehow. That the ball was, how you say, they didn't kick the punt. I don't know if Sam Martin was really hurt. I don't know. It was just because they had a punter, then they released that punter, and it's tough. I mean, you bring in a punter and not used to the snap, it could, who knows what could happen. So Sam Martin comes back in. What's he call it? It's more than a $64,000 question, because losing a game is more than $64,000. But what's the old, how much money, let's just say how many millions, whatever it is. The question is Sam Martin, could he have kicked that ball? Why did you, how did Sean McDermott, coach of the Buffalo Bills, all of a sudden become this, what do you call it, the riverboat gambler? No worries, because a riverboat gambler doesn't have worries, because that's what he's got. He's not worried about bills. He's living the high life on the riverboat. He brought how much money he did on the boat, and he's going to spend it all. That riverboat gambler, or he or she. He could, I don't know if back in the day it worked out, but just saying. The riverboat gambler probably spent time on the boat itself for how long did he spend? Even overnight and stuff, And if you're a riverboat gambler, you don't have much to worry about, because there's no house to worry about, ranch in those days, or a house, or wherever, a hotel room you're living in. Yeah, maybe they live in a hotel room, one hotel, but it wasn't, to me. I don't know. It's one of those things where it looked so bad at first, oh, okay, a fake punt. Wow, what a gamble. Okay, didn't work. And then it was okay, here they come. Oh, there comes but wait, here comes a touchdown. Wait, it's not a touchdown. It's actually a fumble. And because it went out of the end zone, and it's a 2-point safety, and the Bills get it back on the 20. You can't say to yourself, okay, I'm going to fake punt it because it doesn't matter. We're going to get the ball back with 2 points. No, nobody would say, oh yeah, that's exactly what the game plan was. Punt the ball away, but no, wait, no, I'm sorry, not punt the ball away. I mean, to do a fake punt, not worry, because what's going to happen is you're going to get the ball back and 2 points. Nobody would have predicted that one. That was just one of the strangest things. When that happened, and it counted it, and it was the 2 points, I was like, wow, that fake punt actually worked out better? That's kind of like, okay. And then it was the Bills marching down, as they say, like the marching band going down the parade. They're marching down. They're almost at the finish line. And then, of course, the 3-point miss of the ball went wide. As soon as the ball was in the air, Coach, remember, Coach, when I was screaming out, oh, that's no good. The ball just took this weird trajectory. It veered off to the right off the, like, as they say, right off the hop, like, just boom. And then it's in the air, it veered off to the right. It was like, wow, that's not good. Before, television is only 2D, of course. I think how it works out, like, our mind makes it 3D. Like, can I use you, Coach, as an example? Like, you see where the coach's mouth is, and then you see how the tip of his nose is right there, and then the side of coach is right there. So you got that much. Okay, so you're looking at, so let's just pretend. Oh, I don't want to do that symbol. Okay, let's. Can I do 3 of them? 3, yeah. No, 3. Okay, let's just pretend this is the field goal. I don't want to do the other one. Okay, so the ball was like, it just went up in the air, and then it just went like this, like to the right. Like it went. My fingernail's the ball. Okay, so the ball just went like sharp right in the air, but it was close. It ended up pretty close beside the post to the wide right, but it was like I said, it's actually easier. It's actually easier to move the goalpost than it is to move the football. Okay, by nail. Okay, so the kick, it was on line. I think they were on this line, this to the right. So the ball went, like I said, the ball went straight, and then it went right to the right, but it ended up close. But even though it just, it was weird. To watch that kick again would be like so weird. It was so weird. But that would have tied the game. And I don't want to get people saying to themselves, if you're a Bills fan, oh, but they would have had time to get. No. What are we there for? We're there to win. We're there to try to win and you're. I mean, I just wasn't agreeing. I think they had time, instead of trying to go for it in the end zone. I could say that now, because I would be the one that would say the same thing if I was. I gotta get a refreshment. Yeah, I'd go for the touchdown. Anything. I don't care. I know I don't play this game myself. If I was a coach, I'm just speaking for myself, Coach. Like, if I was the coach, like I'm not gonna do that game where, strategy. I should have said the strategy of, okay, let's play it. Let's not leave time on the clock for them to score. No, when in NFL football, if there's a chance to score a touchdown, you score the touchdown, unless it's a complete like the game of when they got run up on with the Atlanta Falcons and that was, I didn't see the point of that. Players could have got hurt for no reason. I would have just let them walk in. You want a touchdown? How you want a touchdown when you could just walk in? Like, that would look bad. I don't know. But they're all playing. That's a tough one too. If you're New York, if you were the Atlanta Falcons, why don't you just let them walk in there? I mean, that's your protest. Let them walk in. You want the touchdown that bad. But point being is, you score. Then that was the premise I was thinking. Remember, Coach, when we were watching the game? It was like, when I was looking at this game and watching towards the end there, and I'm like, my premise was always, and strategy would be to score the touchdown. Score the touchdown. Don't even think about the clock, okay? But I wouldn't have went for it. I would have, with all that time, I would have tried to get the first, because they were giving, like, you were getting those 10-yard passes, those 5-yard passes. So I would have went for a quick 5-yard pass to get another, and then another, whatever, how many you need yards after that to get another first down. They would have did both things. It would have kept the time going off the clock. And I just, there was just such, it was so un-Buffalo Bills like, as in like the coach Sean McDermott time and era, where twice now we're gambling, going for it all. Like, wow, okay, you got, okay, we got lucky, as they say. That's lucky, if I ever heard the word lucky, that you got, Coach, you got lucky, not you, Coach, sorry, not Coach Coyote here, Coach McDermott, you got lucky on that fake punt where, okay, you got the ball back, there's 2 points. But then you went for it again. Who's calling that play? I'm not sure. Oh, wait. Who called that play? Oh, jeez. Did Joe Brady call that play? Like, you were doing so good. Was it the offensive coordinator that threw the... Should have went for those first downs, in my opinion. You know, like, keep going for it. Even though I'm one of those ones that say, no, you score anytime. You don't think of the clock. Like I said earlier, don't think of the clock. You score a goal. Just score a touchdown. Worry about that stuff later. 13 seconds and all that. 13 seconds is in the past. Right, Coach Coyote? 13 seconds is in the past. It's not present. There's no aura, as they say. Is that the right word? Aura of it? You know, I don't see an aura, the ghost of 13 seconds, you know, coming back to haunt the Bills because they scored a touchdown with leaving minute and 30 in the clock. 90 seconds is a lot of time for a team like Kansas City with a Patrick Mahomes. Like, you could just script what they're going to say on television. Like, sometimes, well, they scored, but that's a lot of time to leave on the clock. And then you can have the other commentator do the same thing as everybody else would do and say, well, you know, it's the NFL. You score when you can. Who was commentating on the game? I forget. Forgot who the commentators were. But, you know, that's the kind of, like, what does it called? The football lure or football way, as I say. Like, when do you score? Do you score fast? Do you try to leave the... You know, I just say you score. But in the same crazy instance where I'm saying score fast, then I said, well, don't do like that. Right? It's like, okay, you got the keys to my Ferrari or my Lamborghini or whatever you want, Porsche, whatever car. It's new electric vehicle, whatever, that goes insanely fast at the quarter mile, because that's all electric vehicles can do. Is insane. It's insanity how fast they can go off the quarter mile because it's just an inherent thing. And you're like, here's the keys to it, or the fob keys to the car, right? Coach gives me the keys to his car. He didn't say go down to the speedway and start dragging with it, and go for a drag race, and go find a young 16-year-old to go beat at a street light. I mean, like, let's just say, like, it was, if I was just going to go to the grocery store and get a few items, yeah, stoplight, I know, take your time, get to the next stoplight. Don't try to go so fast trying to beat red lights to get to the grocery store. Just, you know, like, I just say, it's so, it was just un-Buffalo Bills like with Sean McDermott as the head coach. Like the fake punt. There must have been something. It's just, I don't even know why I'm saying it over and over again, Coach. Why am I doing that to myself? Yes, the Sports News Review is an entity. I tried to make it as an entity, as an objective entity. But I've been a Bills fan since '86, and this is probably why I'm taking. And this is probably the reason I actually did this show, right, Coach? Remember I said, Coach, I was like, I'm kind of down and out, Coach. Coach said, just go ahead and do it. Just do the show, anyways, because you can get this one here. Now I'm allowed to point out inanimate objects here. You can get this, and just say it. Like how did that happen? How did this unbuffalo like all of a sudden? Let's gamble. Oh, let's gamble again. Go for broke, and they did. And they went for broke. I don't know. Not the field goal. I agreed with that field goal attempt. I don't know what happened there. When is it time heal wounds and that? Did he? I don't know if he ever addressed the media. I'm talking the kicker for the Buffalo Bills. Did he ever address the media and say what went wrong with the kick? What happened? Like the angle your foot hit it, and what just went wrong? Remember, he has to. Any punter, of course, punters is different. You're not, no. I'm talking. Place kicker. A place kicker has to not just in practice. You could see. Oh wow! In practice, say I'm an NFL coach. I know coaches probably laughing his ass. Laughing and saying that. I'm an NFL caliber kicker here. Okay, now if I'm an NFL caliber kicker. In practice, I'm doing these insane, 65 yarders, 65 yards, especially in the dome. But when it comes to the game, it's different. You got a ball. The kicker has to make that decision where to place the kick on the foot in a split second. When you got people that are tall, 6'5", 6'7", whatever, running out just to put their hands up. And if they got a long reach, they're just running to put their hand up just to tip the ball. And all they need is a little tip. That's it. A tip will throw the trajectory right out of the rope. And, there's a lot of this. It wasn't easy. That kick wasn't easy. I would have done it. You would have gave me 100 out of 100 times. I would say that if I was the coach, say I'm the coach, Sean McDermott, and I couldn't kick a field goal at that time, I would have did it 100 out of 100 times if you gave me a chance. You gave me I don't know the outcome, but 90 asked 100 times. Oh, would you do a field goal kick? Yes, I would have did the field goal kick. I would have done it. There was not everything was doing so good. Like I said, everything was going really good. Except for the fake punt. We don't know why it was done. We're not sure why it was done yet. And the not going for first downs, in my opinion only. This is my opinion, Coach. It's not you have to. It's that's what really happened. I mean, that's just my subjective. Is it right words? And I'm sure, Coach, the subjective opinion on it. And I'm being hard. And I'm gonna just say now. Buffalo Bills fans. Okay, I've been a Bills fan since 1986. Now, I was a Chargers fan earlier than 86 because of just Buffalo. I was a younger person, don't forget. And it wasn't, NFL wasn't this super glamorous thing like right now. And okay, now, if the Bills were doing great, and they had Coach Eric Coryell, and they had a quarterback. What if the Bills was the San Diego Chargers? I would have been a Bills fan immediately when I was very young. Like the Chargers in the early 80s, I was 78. I'm a Chargers fan. Before that, I'm just getting wet into the NFL, looking at teams now. My first intrigue was the new. It's just a weird, Coach. I know you're older than me, Coach. I know that, but just saying that, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers new franchise with the Seattle Seahawks, and I just happened to start watching TV, going, oh, what's this? Oh, football. In life, eh? getting more into it. Trust me on this one. I loved those uniforms, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of today, the whatever, I liked it. I liked that uniform. It was simple. It was there. It's for its time. And in Seattle with the I liked Seattle's uniform time when they both came out with their uniforms for 1976? Yeah, that's right, 276. They came out. I thought they were just perfect. Like they were perfect uniforms. This is Florida at the time. Florida was way different than it is now. This like we get into that rivalry with Miami, which I still say it's one and done over. I don't even. Miami's not a rivalry anymore. Now KC is your rivalry. I'm looking at Kansas City as the rivalry now. This is their nemesis. This is their new nemesis now for your Buffalo Bills. I mean, what are you gonna do? Like you lost three chances to go to the divisional finals against Kansas City, and that hurts. One. Remember the one that the 13 seconds. It's just wow, a ghost of the 13 seconds. I know this is haunting. It is a haunting thing of wide right. Is it wide right number 2? Okay, forgive me, fans. I've been a Buffalo Bills fan since 1986 when Jim Kelly came out. I said the world was changing for me, and I'm like, I'm getting like driving around my car more and going out places and young person still, relatively young still. I never got married, so even say like a 25 years old, I can act like a 20-year-old because I'm carefree. Okay, so the point being is that I remember Jim Kelly came to the Bills. I remember USFL. And before that, Jim Kelly, University of Miami. I'm like, all right. I latched on to the Bills. And in the heartbreak game with the... Oh, my gosh. The time when they lost to Cleveland. Oh my gosh, he couldn't have done it better. Oh, okay, he was off the team there. I forget who was it. Who was it again? That missed that pass against the playoff game in Cleveland. Wow, that was then. And then the '90s and the first Super Bowl. I had to. Okay, now when I watched the first Super Bowl with the Buffalo Bills, because my first Super Bowl experience is way back then. Actually, watching the Super Bowl would be like 78 for sure. Before that, it was there. Like the Super Bowl was on, and I go, if everybody else is watching, I get to watch it, kind of deal. But the 78 Super Bowl, I was like, okay, I'm watching the Super Bowl, and that's that. But in 1990, I watched the Super Bowl. I was in front of the TV, and I was lying down when the kick. I go, I better lie down on the floor. I lay down on the floor, my head towards the TV, my feet back. Like, so I'm lying down, my head's facing my head is pointed, angled towards. Let's just say if the TV was in the east direction. My head was in the east direction, my feet were in the west, So I'm lying down, the elbows on the ground, my hands on my chin, palms. They say palms on my chin. I'm watching here comes the kick, and it's wide right. I'm like, oh no! And that was the first Super Bowl loss to Buffalo. So, and I watched all the other three, of course, and then after that, it was just, it became years of just like it was fun. The carousel of quarterback, that was fun, I guess, for a while. I was listening to a lot of talk radio at that time too, and of course it was mostly about who should be quarterback, and But I brought all that up because I show you that I am a Bills fan and all this time, and I just want to say these words, and I don't want to. It's not offensive, but can it be already a thing on the internet yet? Let's see. I don't, forgive me. Wide right 2. No, wide right 2. Wide right number 2. Now I'm going to put wide right number 2. I'm going to type it in. I must have some kind of dialect that doesn't understand. No. Wide, white. Wide. Uh-oh. Right, wide right 2. Okay, let's see. Oh, boy. Oh, my gosh, it's got its own Wikipedia page. Okay, it has its own Wikipedia page. Wide right 2. You kidding me? Who wrote that in? Wide right 2 is a colloquial name for the 92 college football game between the Miami Hurricanes and the Florida Seminoles. Seminoles. The game is notable in the Florida State. Wide right 2. No, okay. Okay. Oh, I was. There it is. It says top stories. Wide right 2.0. Patrick Mahomes more troll bulls on social media after Chiefs win. What? Hey, no, he's got class. No, he's got class. Like Scarwood in the Super Bowl 33 years ago, Bills kicker Tyler Bass. Okay, so it was a special triumph for Mahomes playing his first true road game in his playoff career. Okay, oh, big deal. I didn't understand that part. That part's nonsense about home versus road and all that. But, yeah. This might be wide right number 2 because now we got all kinds of stats when it comes to it. Like, okay, so the wide right original, the 13 seconds, then the snap in the end zone, whatever happened there. What else? What other thing? But this is like wide right number 2, yeah. And it hurts. It hurts if you're a Buffalo Bills fan. You just wanted it to be that time. You just wanted it to be that was our time. Like this is our time. But man, if you're Kansas City fan, if you're a Kansas City fan, yeah, you're just glad to take this win any way you can. Just take this win. Move on to the next game. Okay, so Coach, we look at the clock timer there. It's 58 minutes. Okay, so why don't we just end this in 2 minutes? I'm going to try to end this right on 60 minutes. Okay, so we got 58, 16, 17. What are we going to talk about, Coach? How are things going? You have to leave town or anything like that? Already guys, I got your schedule. I've got a minute here. You're off to. You're back off to New Mexico. Then Arizona. Something going on in Arizona, I guess. Phoenix, I guess. Checking out the new stadium that you've been there already. It's not like you new to me. I've never been there. But you have, eh? I don't know what the name of it. Where Arizona plays. Wow. So we got 1 minute left, and I should have kept talking Kansas City and Buffalo, but I just want to end it. I want to end it at 60. I don't want to break my thought. Okay, so 45 seconds. Okay, so we're just going to do the over and out with right when 5 seconds left. You got to just do this. Okay, 25 seconds, 59, 25.